1 second it's running smoothly, the next it's total chaos. These are the kinds of unexpected technical failures you'll only see on WoW Tech. The steel coil snapped the moment its straps were cut, angrily bursting open. Luckily, he stepped back just in time and dodged that chaotic mess. The drilling rig suddenly collapsed right in the middle of the road, missing passing cars by just inches. After all the planning, preparation, and hours of battling in that rough terrain, their effort to rescue the excavator still ended in a heartbreaking failure. The barge snapped in half in just a split second due to excessive weight and uneven load distribution. Luckily, the crew managed to move away just moments before it went under. The suction hose blew off midway because it wasn't fitted properly, but the driver shut the valve just in time. Crisis avoided, though that lingering stench isn't going anywhere soon. The moment the truck touched the power line, this driver honked to warn them, but it was already too late. The truck bed brushed the wire, sparks flashed, and the flickering light show that followed gave everyone a real scare. The worker reacted just in time when the crane malfunctioned. Pretty sure he whispered a quiet thank you to the luck gods for saving the day.
Why?
When the parking brake gets forgotten, a dramatic chase between man and machine begins. What seemed like a simple task turned into a nail-biting moment. While loading the Christmas tree, the uneven weight tipped the crane hard to one side. Luckily, this happened during training, not during a real fire. It's a valuable lesson for everyone involved, preventing anything like this from happening again. A 4-ton truck had already sunk 10 meters into the ground. But as the crew worked to secure the scene, the soil beneath them suddenly cracked open, creating a second sinkhole right beside them, forcing the rescue operation to halt instantly due to the risk of a total collapse. This delivery just got a whole lot later. The entire load flew off the truck. And as the recovery crew stepped in, the lifting cable suddenly snapped, sending the truck into yet another impact. A jaw-dropping moment inside the scrap melting furnace as everything suddenly erupts. Moist materials triggered a violent reaction, like hot oil splashing when it hits water. A powerful reminder of why controlling moisture before feeding the furnace is absolutely crucial. The incident in Gumi shows that even a small mistake, like wrong connector bolts or overload operation, can cause a tower crane to collapse. No one expects a single tire to unleash an explosion like that, but when heat builds up inside, the tire turns into a pressurized chamber just waiting to blow. The blast happens in an instant, leaving white smoke everywhere and plenty of stunned faces. Don't worry, the driver had already stepped away before it went off. When the bucket is placed at the wrong angle or the center of gravity, an amphibious excavator can tip over in an instant. Luckily, the operator managed to jump out of the cab just in time. During the dismantling of the KNBK system, leftover pressure caused GNV gas to spray out unexpectedly. This is exactly why workers must always follow depressurization procedures and prepare emergency response measures. It seems this was already a warning sign of a technical failure. And yes, that metal tube really did pop loose and shoot straight into the cabin. This reverse maneuver is definitely not in any driving manual. Off-way truck, blew out tire, and all anyone could do was shake their heads in disbelief at the driver. After slowly guiding the truck into position, you'd think he was being careful, but it turned out to be hesitation that sent everything into chaos right away. A moment that would make any engineer shudder. A bridge girder suddenly collapsing during installation. The cause? The girder twist of alignment just as it was about to set the other end, made worse by its massive weight and insufficient equipment checks. The drill string dropped straight down, and in an unbelievable stroke of luck, the worker dodged it a sec. This guy's reflexes were unreal, jumping out at the perfect moment. 1 second slower, and both he and the truck would have tumbled. It's a pity about the machine, but hey, sometimes it's better to let the equipment take the fall than the operator. Just a splash of water and aluminum reacts instantly. Thankfully, no one was standing nearby. Maybe these two tankers trusted that narrow road a little too much. The heavy load tipped them over in an instant. If even a single spark landed here, no one wants to imagine what could happen with all that spilled fuel. In reality, this vehicle was long past its prime, should have been retired ages ago, but was still pushed to the limit, so losing control was almost inevitable. Those heart-stopping moments, like when an oak log brings down an entire crane. The Smelter incident happened due to improper equipment handling. In that tense moment, he stayed calm and escaped just in time. He even went back to shut down the machine, preventing even worse consequences. The driver stayed really calm and sharp. With the truck suddenly catching fire, he drove it straight to the fire station. What a life-saving experience!
Eita, menino.
A clumsy teamwork moment. Lowering the liftgate at the wrong time sent the whole pallet toppling like dominoes. Hey, how could you forget to lower the truck bed like that? Good thing there wasn't a vehicle right behind. That was close to a free tomato sauce shower. After this, the warehouse will probably need to secure things better. Nobody expected the tractor wheel to suddenly pop off. This scene would startle anyone, but luckily the vehicle behind was moving slowly and avoided an accident. Just one moment of carelessness, the box truck's door swung open, slammed into a wall, and took out the car beside it. Thankfully, no one was inside that car. The outcome could have been unthinkable. A small miscalculation in the slope angle instantly turned the truck into a real mess. When launching a motorboat, balance is absolutely critical. In this case, uneven weight nearly tipped the crane over. A heavy vehicle blew a tire on a dangerous curve, but thanks to low speed and no traffic behind, the driver handled it safely. Lesson learned: slow down and keep a safe distance on mountain roads. The robot's mistake stemmed from an error in the initial positioning step. Unsurprisingly, the next pour had no chance of succeeding. Just one moment of carelessness or a technical glitch. The driver made it out safely, but the cause of this incident still leaves everyone curious. Even with a broken piston, the driver calmly handled the situation from inside the cab. It felt like that composure alone kept everything from spiraling into chaos. Strong winds caused the tower crane on Swan Drive to suddenly collapse, slamming into cars and power lines and sending shockwaves through the site. Thankfully, the driver was safely rescued by a professional emergency team. On a narrow, steep road, two trucks unexpectedly met head-on. A tire blew out as one driver tried to avoid a collision, but he handled it smoothly. Everything remained under control. Was it distraction, time pressure, or simply ignoring the warning signs? The rocket lifted off, then all of a sudden veered off course, spun out of control, and crashed into the step, all because a single sensor was misinstalled. A moment the Russian space industry will definitely never forget. The container truck tipped while making a turn, as if just a slight lean could send it crashing down. Perhaps the driver was a bit overconfident or not fully alert, leading to this completely avoidable rollover. The Scania truck seemed to race the wind until a tire suddenly blew out. The slower vehicles behind narrowly avoided a heart-stopping moment. This scene looks like the machine is struggling under a heavy workload, and the overheated engine has to open the cover to breathe. As a bonus disaster, a hydraulic hose bursts, fluid sprays all over the hot engine, and flames erupt instantly. Maybe that sharp S-curve jolt was all it took to start the trouble. Just one loose tie-down point, and the concrete pipes jumped right out of the truck bed. When the lifting equipment wasn't fully locked in place, the crane operator still lifted anyway. The container truck driver spotted it and dodged it just in time. The supervisor below gave careful instructions, but in the end could only stand there, hands on hips, watching the awkward mishap unfold. Did you know that just a few seconds of delay in closing the hose valve is enough to let fuel spill everywhere? The camera captured a trailer container going out of control. In less than a minute, it smashed through a wall and drifted across the intersection. A few seconds late, and the outcome could have been disastrous. Fortunately, the excavator didn't fully overturn, and the operator got out in time. A collision between the top drive and the pipe handler, a heart-stopping moment in the oil and gas industry that everyone should take as a serious warning. The situation turned dangerous in an instant, but with quick reflexes, the driver made it back to shore safely. When rough roads turn every meter into a challenge, even the cargo can't escape the risk. The paper mill took a break mid-shift, spinning wildly, then stopping dead, leaving the worker no time to react. The tank was pulled incorrectly and fell due to a wrongly placed rope, turning a routine move into an unexpected accident. Luckily, the operator made it out safely. A faulty coupling caused the truck and trailer to separate, crashing into a light pole. Minor damage, but a clear reminder to always check the hitch before hitting the road. Like a scene from a movie, the fuel truck suddenly rolled away while refueling. The driver sprinted after it and stopped the disaster just in time. Everything seemed routine until sparks from the molten steel suddenly burst outward. Thanks to quick reactions, everyone managed to escape safely. The car was driving too close and got clipped as the truck turned. Trying to avoid the white car on the other side, the truck ended up paying the price in a rather unfortunate way. Even controlled load tests can go wrong. When the load exceeded the limit, the crane failed and the boat capsized. A hard lesson in safety to remember. Just a few steps away and everything would have turned out very differently. At first glance, those flying sparks look impressive, but in reality, they're signs that molten steel is being poured too fast or has come into contact with impurities. A miscalculation in the cutting position doubled the load's actual weight, throwing the massive crane off balance. Overloading was the main cause of the forklift tipping over. The operator was lucky to jump clear in time, but it's a reminder to always respect load limits and follow safety procedures. What seemed like a smooth crane lifting operation was suddenly interrupted when a sling snapped. A small hidden defect in the rigging system may have caused the failure. A lightning-fast reflex helped the bystander dodge just in time as the boat lost balance and the crane tipped, narrowly avoiding a serious collision. A one-of-a-kind test. They put an old train car under extreme stress to assess the metal's durability after years of use. Watching this, you realize even the kings of the railway have their limits. The driver made a mistake trying to pass under the bridge, causing the car on the trailer to collide. When reversing, the truck briefly slowed traffic and almost hit the vehicles behind. In a split second of carelessness, the truck moved off, the cargo fell, and the forklift operator got an instant ouch. The shelf unexpectedly collapsed. Luckily, no one was nearby. But was it due to overloading, poor installation, or faulty materials? A landslide partially blocked the road, forcing the driver to hug the edge. The ground couldn't support the weight. The truck tilted and slid into the ravine, leaving the driver powerless, watching it from afar. Lowering the forks to the correct height and choosing a flat path can prevent a whole string of unnecessary risks. The load was stacked like a wall, blocking the driver's view. The person in front jumped back just in time before things went wrong. A split-second mistake from the crane and bam! The container dropped straight into the cargo hold. The rig tubing suddenly went flying out of the well, likely due to poor securing or a sudden spike in well pressure. The wheels and brakes take an extreme beating, but it's all on the ground. This is exactly how engineers test whether an aircraft is strong enough for safe takeoff. Just made its debut and the turbo already failed. A lesson to never underestimate the smallest details. Thick smoke billowed across the Delpan Bridge as a cargo vessel caught fire without warning. No one knew what went wrong at that very moment. Who thought it was a good idea to mount an excavator at the back of the convoy? And with the operator not even wearing a seatbelt, honestly, it's a miracle he walked away without injury. Bad luck struck the moment the locomotive reached the dock. The frame snapped. The rotating apparatus turned into scraps. So, who's paying that bill? Bricks went flying as being unloaded, then the truck tipped, likely overloaded.
Whoa.
Watching this test feels like diamond cutting diamond, brutal force, yet the engine keeps the damage under control. That's how engineers ensure absolute flight safety. After the scene of the forklift crashing down, the biggest relief is that the operator escaped safely without any injuries. The lifting cable couldn't handle the weight and snapped violently. Thankfully, no serious accidents occurred. Oh wow, it's like this storm decided to challenge the crane. The wind was so strong, it actually shifted the crane's base, a heart-stopping sight for anyone watching. It almost ended in a full tumble for the bulldozer. If they had taken time to calculate the demolition direction first, the outcome would have been very different. The sparks look like fireworks, but unlike a celebration, this is a clear warning of serious risks in the metalworking industry. The moment the crane is safely dismantled is truly satisfying to watch. Now it's time for it to rest, setting aside its heavy-duty work for a while. A sharp metallic clang echoed as the 32-1 Galician crane suddenly tilted and slid into the ground. A harsh reminder that preparation and safety cannot be overlooked. Ironic moments in the industrial world always leave us both surprised and a little wiser. Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit subscribe to WowTech for more jaw-dropping situations.